7 laps to go here in the Corrigan Oil 200 at Michigan. Final race of the regular season here for the Gander Outdoor Truck Series. So we will see who will be the 8 trucks in the playoff field and the playoff standings as soon as this one is over. And a 2.5 second lead over teammate Johnny Sauter right now. Sauter has not won yet this year, so maybe he can pull off an upset and clinch the final spot in the playoffs. Kyle Benjamin is the last driver as far as points are considered right now. Out of the 8 drivers with a win, 8 different winners so far this season, which would mean that all the playoff spots are taken up, but you do have to be inside the top 20 in the Xfinity Truck Series and inside the top 30 in the Cup Series with a win to still be eligible for the playoffs. And Kyle Benjamin coming into this race was 22nd in points, and he was 23 points back, so it's going to be a very, very tough run for him to have to make in order to get into the playoffs. Had to point his way in despite the fact he's got a win. So that does leave the door open for the best, I guess, finisher in points that doesn't have a win this season can get in still without having a win. Johnny Sauter's trying to do just that, but a win will make it that much more easier for him to do so. Got one more set of pit stops in this race before the finish. Nobody can make it to the end on fuel. As far as tires are considered, tires will obviously not last to the end either. 24 laps to go. We will have to pit within the next 13 laps of this race. It's definitely a good one though. Pretty interesting race so far. Lead is widened out to about 5 seconds now over Johnny Sauter. At this point in the run, we've had 4 cautions in this race. The last 2 races we had were both caution-free. It seemed like it is going to be anywhere close to that with the 4 yellows in this one. So that impressive streak will come to an end. We do have 2 trucks that are retired from this race, as we have our first taker onto pit road. Trying to short pit is Ross Chastain, who is 10 seconds back in the race lead. And he's going to try and make up some time. He was in 3rd. You can see there's a lap truck that is going to be coming in our way here in the next lap or 2. So Chastain will now be a lap down. He's going to try to make up as much time as possible though, taking 4 fresh Goodyear tires. We're going to stay out of the pits until we absolutely have to come down. Not going to run until it's dry, but we're going to get it as close as possible without it getting dry. Now running up on Travis Quaffle here to put him another lap down in this one. 7-second lead, 20 laps to go at Michigan in the Truck Series. Ben Rhodes looking for win number 8 on the season. That would give us 55 playoff points entering the postseason. Locked up the regular season championship with a win at Eldora in the last race. We've got 7 wins for 35 playoff points. On top of those 15 additional points for winning the regular season title. So looking for 5 more here today to enter into the first round of the playoffs in the round of 8. Truck Series playoffs go from 8. They start off at 8, drop down to 6 after the first round. Then the championship 4 for that championship race. Coming after that, only 7 races in the playoffs in the Truck Series. What has been a quick regular season so far. A lot of the trucks coming onto pit road for the final time here today. Again, though, 18 laps to go.
Still there.
In the midst of lap traffic right now.
Top 3, use it if you need it. Car on the outside now. You got room, you're clear.
First playoff race is going to be at Bristol in the Truck Series. That should be an entertaining one to watch. Natalie Decker will go a lap down, leaving only 6 trucks on the lead lap. But again, we do have some of these trucks coming off of pit road. Kyle Benjamin in 26th right now, currently on the race. Even in fact late in the race. So the likelihood of him getting enough points to have that one win on the first race of the year at Daytona, getting him into the playoffs, it looks like he's probably not going to get in.
Car high, careful there. All right, you're clear there.
So that last spot could... Biggest lead of the race so far now, 11.5 seconds. Thor Motorsports running 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack. The only other driver on the team, Matt Crafton, out of the race.
Still there inside.
He is already DNF'd. Oh, very tight there, 3 wide. Through the trioval off of turn 4, Stuart Friesen tried to get one of his laps back here with the 4 fresh tires. Under green here with 15 laps to go. So the tires can last a full fuel run here at Michigan in the Truck Series. Going to stay out here for a couple more laps before bringing it onto pit road for the final time today. It will be a 4-tire pit stop. Laps to go now. We can only hope and assume that the rest of the field has to pit. If they don't, it might be because they're trying to stretch it the last 39 laps of this race.
We've got to be hurt about fuel. Bring it down pit lane.
On the same tank of fuel that we have right now, which could very possibly be.
All clear.
I didn't think that could be a possibility, but if they pitted under that last caution, it very well could be. Going to stay out this time as well. 13 laps to go now. We are going to pit this time by. So we will take our final stop of the day here, this time by. And we will give up the lead for the time being to Johnny Sauter. Sauter 16 seconds back in the race lead.
You're clear there.
Now 16 and a half seconds back.
You're going too fast.
58 miles an hour. Executed that portion perfectly. We will take a half tank of fuel, which will be plenty to get us to the end.
All right now, dig.
15.8 second pit stop, now back onto the racetrack. "11 laps to go at Michigan. Johnny Sauter leads. We are currently in third. Sauter has a 12-second lead here over Grant Enfinger. Again, Thor Motorsports running 1, 2, 3. Will Sauter and Enfinger make it on fuel to the end? They're the only ones we are racing here if we stay green to the finish. Really backing off on fuel to the line this time. 10 laps to go now at Michigan. 200 miles, 100 laps on this 2-mile oval racetrack. Tri-oval. Gaining a lot of time here on the race leader, Johnny Sauter, but are we going to be able to catch him before the finish? 9 laps to go now for Sauter at the line. 20 and a half seconds back, about two-thirds of the track behind. But on these 4 fresh tires, we are definitely coming quick. We did not pit under the last caution that we had.
Still there.
We elected to stay out, save the tires, just in case they weren't going to be able to make it to the finish today. And just in case we weren't going to make it on fuel. But they're going to try a different strategy and try to win this race otherwise. Enfinger has already won a race this season, so he's in the postseason. Johnny Sauter has not. And a chance now for all 4 Thor Motorsport trucks to come on in, and the caution will wave with 8 laps to go. Our 5th caution of the race, and that will set up a fantastic race to the finish. Looks like 4 trucks will pit out of the 9 that are on the lead lap. Brett Moffitt will get the free pass. So the top 5 trucks, top 5 drivers stay out of the pits. We will have 5 laps to go to the line this time for the green flag. Green flag is going to be in the air. The final 5 laps of the regular season are underway.
5 to go, driver.
Who will get the win as we have a great restart? Easily getting in front of Ross Chastain into turn 1, getting through the shifts very well. But will those drivers on the 4 fresh tires be able to drive their way on up through the field and make a run at this one? With front runner Johnny Sauter being in the mix, he's quickly up to 5th after restarting in the 6th position. Fading down into 3 wide back there now, maybe even 4 wide back for 2nd. 4 laps to go at Michigan. What a battle! Trying to make it back to the finish. Off of turn 4 now to the start-finish line. 3 laps to go at Michigan. Johnny Sauter's up to 3rd. Now he's up to 2nd place. Johnny Sauter trying to come through the field quickly. And with 3 laps to go, can he catch up 2 seconds here on his 4 fresh tires? We got to run about as perfect of laps as possible. Grant Enfinger in 4th right now. Trying to battle Tyler Dipple for 3rd, and maybe he can give us a shot. But with the clean air out in front right now, Sauter and I are flatlining. Nothing gained or lost that last lap. 2 laps to go now in Michigan. We get to the white flag. The next flag will end the race, whether it is the yellow or the checker, looking for win number 8 on the season in the Gander Outdoor Truck Series. Neither one of those two are going to really have a shot at us here. White flag in the air now. 1 lap to go on the regular season at Michigan.
White flag.
We will have won half the races in the regular season. 8 out of 16 with a win here today. Half a lap to go, 1 mile remaining in the race. Just over a 2-second lead over Johnny Sauter. It's going to be a 1-2-3 finish for Thor Motorsports off of turn 4. Ben Rhodes gets win number 8 on the season over teammates Johnny Sauter and Grant Enfinger to close out the regular season at Michigan. Now it's time for victory celebration here at MIS. Capping off a perfect regular season, and the quest is on now to win the championship into the playoffs. 63 minutes total time in the race, 1 hour and 3 minutes. Win number 9. Giving us 60 playoff points to enter the postseason. The number 2 seed will be Brett Moffitt. And everybody from 2nd on down through 7th will be tied. So Brett Moffitt being the 2 seed, Harrison Burton the 3 seed, Matt Crafton will be seed number 4, Tyler Ankrum was seed number 5, Austin Hill with a win, he is seed number 6, and Austin Hill would have needed that win to make the playoffs. He would not have qualified on points. Tyler Dipple as well, he is the 7th seed, but he wouldn't have made it on points if he didn't win, so great job for him getting it done there. And despite the fact Kyle Benjamin lost 4 positions in points this race, having a very, very bad race at Michigan, he will not make it despite winning the season opener at Daytona. He is outside the top 20, so the last spot to get into the playoffs is Grant Enfinger, our teammate here. Johnny Sauter needed the win. He could not get it. Sauter was 11th in points, finished 2nd here today. In a full race, 40 points behind Grant Enfinger. So Enfinger gets the last spot over Todd Gilliland in the playoffs, so he will get the 8th seed, the only driver with no playoff points entering the postseason. Enfinger will get the final spot over Gilliland by 12 points. So that is going to be it here for the race at Michigan. We'll see you at Bristol, and the playoffs are going to be underway next. Thanks.